Hey everyone, Salam. How are you? Welcome to the Real Muslims channel. Welcome righteous ones, real Muslims. In this video, I want to get straight to the point. I want to explain the most important, fundamental, and basic point. I want to clearly prove to you that the Holy Quran is not in human language, not in the language of mankind, with evidence and documentation straight from the Quran itself. 10 clear and obvious reasons, though there are even more. They're all in this very Quran, which completely proves that this book is not made by humans, and all of them are taken from a scientific perspective. Let's get to the first point. These are definite and completely logical reasons. And if anyone has any criticism, say it in the comments. If I see that your point is really solid, I'll make a video about it, or I'll definitely reply to you right here in the comments. So be sure to leave a comment. And also, don't go around claiming to be so religious. If you are really a Muslim, you would like this video so that it gets recommended to more people. Because honestly, this is one of the most important and fundamental questions. There's nothing more important than this. Is the Quran really the word of a human? Or is it truly beyond anything you can imagine? Let's go together. We're going to examine these 10 reasons together. Thanks so much for your support. Take a look. There are a lot of important points for you. There are actually more than 10, but for now in this video, I'll just mention 10 of them. Surah Sad, verse 2, clearly says, "The revelation of this book is from the Lord of the worlds." This verse says, without any doubt, the revelation of this book is from the Lord of the worlds. In other words, this book is always emphasizing, O human being, this book is the word of the Lord, not the word of a human. And when I say human, I mean anyone, especially Prophet Muhammad himself, because some people claim that this book wasn't even complete at first, that it was completed over the course of history. That claim is nonsense. And I want to provide reasons to show that not only was this book not written by humans, but especially not by Prophet Muhammad. The reasons are things found within this book itself, things that even to this day people are still confused about, like the soul. So this book is always emphasizing, I am from God, meaning it is testifying to itself, I am from God, and I am not written by any human being. The second point is really interesting. This book always tells the prophet, say, O prophet, say, meaning we wrote this book and you are only delivering its message to the people.
It's like in the olden days when you wanted to send a message to another city, you would write the letter and then it would be sent to that city. The prophet's only role was to deliver this information to humanity. That's it. Do you get that? It always told the prophet, say, O prophet, say. And this book never ever quotes the words of another person. Unless this book is not from God, well, then it should be God speaking, right? As you can clearly see, this book has not been expressed or narrated in the words of any human being. Like, for example, someone says something or shares their opinion. Absolutely not. This book from the very beginning to the very end is entirely from God. And at no point has any human being given their opinion anywhere in this book. The prophet has never at any time written a book in his own words, something that happened a lot with the Torah and the Gospel. The Torah and the Gospel were also books from God, but corrupt people, for their own benefit and for whatever reason, took these books and changed their verses. God had revealed those two, but people changed their verses. But this one, no one has ever changed it in any way. And that's the second reason. The third reason, in this remarkable book, it consistently states, hey human, if you truly claim this book is merely man-made, then bring forth a single chapter that is genuinely like it. So far, after an astonishing 1400 years, absolutely no one has been able to bring a chapter that is genuinely like this extraordinary book. You see, every claim in this book has been proven, whether scientifically or in any other way. That means everything in this book has always been confirmed. The fourth reason, in this very Quran, it says that if this book had been made by Prophet Muhammad, we would have found many contradictions in it. But so far, there hasn't been any contradiction in this book. The fifth reason, this book has scientific reason. It has been scientifically validated, like this very verse, Surah Al-Anbiya, verse 30. It says, did the disbelievers not see that the heavens and the earth were joined together and we separated them? This verse is related to the Big Bang Theory, A book from a time when people used to worship idols. It came from that era and pointed to something like this. A time when people rode donkeys. There was nothing back then. No electricity, absolutely nothing. And this book came and pointed out this fact. Well, this is also evidence and proof that shows this book is truly from God.
It shows that if this book was really written by a human being, if there was a two-legged, two-handed creature, it would have written this book. There's absolutely no way to say how Prophet Muhammad could have possibly understood such things. Well, that's enough of a reason. Even in this very book, it says that the disbelievers always told Prophet Muhammad that he is just a human being like you. Whatever you eat, he eats as well. Whatever you drink, he drinks as well. He is a human being just like us. Come on, be reasonable. It's true that Muhammad was a human being like you. Forget about them. Focus on this book and what is written in it. In fact, this very point, this very verse is solid evidence that someone wrote this book who, even in an era when people rode donkeys, had knowledge of this explosion. Is this book man-made? The sixth reason. This verse also says that we reveal the Quran and we will always protect and preserve it. The Quran you have at home is the same Quran from the time when people rode donkeys. There was nothing else back then. The book you have at home is the same book. From that time until now, so many things have changed. If humans of that time had written this, thousands of distortions would have crept in, which shows that this book is truly beyond imagination. And the one who wrote it is someone who knows everything, is present at all times, and knows everything in every era. That's why he brought a book that is useful in every era. Just look, it's relevant in every era. In every time and place truly, even now and until the end of time, this book remains a book. I can prove it. Meaning until the end of time, this book is truly a book. Honestly, you've got a reliable and completely professional book. And this is the sixth reason. The next point, Surah Al-Ankabut, verse 48. You did not read any book with your own hand, nor did you write any book. Prophet Muhammad was an illiterate person. He had no formal education. Then suddenly he comes and brings forth a book. And it's a book that contains so many scientific references and is still useful to humanity to this day. And rest assured, it will remain so until the end of time. With evidence, I can prove this. It benefits everyone. If you got this book, go ahead and like and subscribe so you can see that all of this is backed up with evidence and documentation. If any person brings a book and claims this is from God, you have to look at it and it must have these characteristics. There is no other book on earth like this Quran. Look, the prophet was an illiterate man, and yet he brought forth,
And such a book, he says, was revealed all at once. It's completely clear that this book was not made by Prophet Muhammad. It makes perfect sense that someone else gave this information to him. He didn't make it up himself. An illiterate man, a book that has remained until now and until the day of judgment. All the points are contained within it. That is, people are confused and bewildered just like the soul right now. So many people have died and seen things in the other world, or those who become possessed by jinn. All of this shows that there is some news with evidence and proof. I can prove this, but people are still confused wondering what this really is. We still haven't reached the level of their knowledge to fully understand it, but this book has mentioned it. About the soul, about life after death. All these claims have turned out to be true for people, whether in this life, afterlife, or any other scenario. Many of them are liars, but some come with evidence and proof, like that man who saw someone in the morgue of one of the cities. He had seen his morgue. If we say it's fake, that crying at the end is clearly not staged. For example, a book from the time when people rode donkeys talks about the soul. It made this claim. For example, the concept of life after death, which is the main theme from start to finish in this book, was taken from there. For example, here's proof that we still haven't reached the level of those scholars. This book will remain until the end of time. Here's your eighth piece of evidence. This book in Surah Yasin, verse 38, points out that the sun moves in a specific orbit. How is it possible that a person, especially someone uneducated in an era when people rode donkeys, and when out of ignorance they would bury their daughters alive, could bring forth such a book and point out something like this? The sun moves in an orbit in the sky. Isn't that enough of a point? Isn't that enough evidence? And it's been completely confirmed. Let's search it on the internet. The sun and the entire solar system are moving in a specific orbit. Here's the evidence. Here's the proof. A lot of people say this book was made by humans. How foolish and ignorant can you be? Isn't this enough proof? Ninth piece of evidence. This book is also talked about the mother's womb and referred to it. Surah Zumar, verse 6. In this verse, it mentions 3 layers of darkness, the threefold darkness. Now scientists have realized after many centuries that these 3 layers exist.
Yo, listen up. The uterine wall, the abdominal wall, and the amniotic sac. Inside that, you got the amniotic fluid. People call it the water of the baby. Now check this out. A book from way back then talked about what goes down inside the womb. It made some wild claims, and today, science straight up confirmed them. Like for real, who the hell knew this stuff back then? Who had that kind of info? That's not just luck, man. That's proof. Think about it. When sunlight hits the mom, or any kind of light, that water inside, the amniotic fluid, stays dark. No light touches the baby. Zero. For example, if you put a flashlight on your hand, you see the light pass through, right? Your skin glows a bit. But the fetus? Nah. Science says those layers block it all. Total darkness. And this book literally calls them 3 layers of darkness, guys. Not a small detail. Whoever wrote that book knew about this, and that was in a time when people were riding donkeys. Bro, nothing. No science, no microscopes, nothing. That's evidence number 9. Now check out number 10. And man, this one's dope. Surah Al-Anbiya, verse 30. We created everything in pairs. Let that sink in. Everything. Back then, people thought only animals were male and female. That's it. But now, we know even particles got pairs. Electrons and positrons. Positive and negative charges. North and south poles. Symmetry. Everywhere, bro. Creation itself is built in pairs. And this wasn't some scientist saying it. This was written in a book when there was literally nothing. Just desert, camels, and donkeys. And the book's like, yo, everything's in pairs. Fast forward to now, people grind their whole lives studying this stuff, get Nobel Prizes when they figure it out, like Paul Dirac. Dude worked his butt off proving particles got pairs. Meanwhile, this book dropped the bar thousands of years ago.
Go search on the internet. Do some more research about this person. He was just a researcher. It doesn't matter at all whether he was religious or not. What matters is that he dedicated his life and discovered this. Search on the internet for quantum physics, the concept of antiparticles. A man named Paul Dirac dedicated his life to understanding what this is all about. Did you get it? Something like this is mentioned in the Quran. Isn't this enough evidence? There's still more evidence. A lot more. There are a few more big and important ones like this that really deserve a Nobel Prize. It's even greater than the Nobel Prize because reaching this knowledge is that significant. Just see how vast God's knowledge is. The Nobel Prize isn't something trivial. It's really a big deal. If you don't push yourself to the limit and dedicate your whole life, there's absolutely no way you can surpass God's knowledge. All these claims are mentioned in this book, and every single one of them has come true. There are a lot of things we're unclear about, like the soul. In my next video, I'll definitely explain these things. Subscribe to my channel. How can you claim to be a Muslim and then not support another Muslim? You're not a real Muslim. If you were, you would support. There's a ton of other evidence. Completely reliable evidence. That's why I say this book is beyond anything you can imagine. Why do I say this book will remain a book until the end of time? Because there are things in this book that people are still confused and puzzled about, like the soul, like Satan, and many other claims in this book. People still don't know about them. And definitely, as science advances, people will discover even more truths from this book. That's why I say this book will remain a book until the end of time. Honestly, with all the evidence and documentation it contains, this book clearly proves that it was not written by any human being. No human, no person. Prophet Muhammad was merely a messenger. It's like when you wanted to send your message somewhere else in those days. You had to write it on paper and give it to a courier, and the courier would deliver the information. That was exactly what Prophet Muhammad did. Nothing more, nothing less. You get it? All of this is solid evidence, proving that this book is in no way man-made. Subscribe to my channel. There's a lot more I haven't mentioned. There's honestly so many claims that have all turned out to be true. Subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any videos. And never claim to be a Muslim unless you truly are. Anyone who fully relies on this book, which is truly complete in every way,
and only if they follow it 100% can they call themselves a true Muslim.
For me, the video is over, But the story continues. Every year you ask, and it has been completely scientifically confirmed. There are many other pieces of evidence that I didn't mention. I'll definitely talk about them in the next video. Be sure to support. Never claim to be a Muslim unless you truly help and support other Muslims. Liking the video motivates me to make more videos. And from the light that reaches me, some of that light will reach you too. Like the video and subscribe. Whoever does even a little bit of good will receive their reward. When you like the video, I get energy to make even better videos. And when I make better videos, more people will be guided from darkness to light. That light will reach you too. Don't have any doubts. Like and subscribe because a ton of important videos are on the way.